All right, two new books have arrived in my collection, the classic horror stories and the gods and heroes of ancient Greece. I'll do the classic horror stories in a later video. I just wanted to show you the gods and heroes of ancient Greece here today by Gustav Schwab. I'd like to show you this delivery slip that was in the package with the books, Gods and Heroes of Ancient Greece. Barnes & Noble collectible Eddie for editions, of course, and then classic. It definitely says Barnes and Noble collectible edition assumed. Let's have a quick look here. It's slightly shorter than the others. There are some good things about this, don't get me wrong, and I'll show it to you in detail for a moment. The paper inside is almost brown. It's so acidic. And let me just show you this on the inside cover. That's not what I've come to expect from Barnes & Noble. Oh, wait. Pantheon Books, New York. Let's have a closer look here. Registered trademark of Penguin Random House LLC. Barnes & Noble, you've dropped the ball here. It's a lovely book. I can understand why you'd want to assume ownership for something as outwardly beautiful as this, but when you look at the detail, when you look at the close-up finish of this book, it's not impressive, and it's not a good look for Barnes & Noble. I was so excited about this because I ordered it straight from Barnes & Noble, had it shipped over from the United States. I live in Europe. And so it was quite a complicated task because Barnes & Noble no longer ship to Europe, so I had to get around it via various services, and what I get is a great content, looks quite good on the shelf, but it's just not a Barnes & Noble's book. Let me show you a little bit more about the problems that I have with this. Have a look at all the Barnes & Noble's covers, how nicely rounded they are. And then you've got this straight. Look how much relief you get on the bracket here. And here it's just, yeah, I mean it's almost there, but it's not the quality that I've come to expect from Barnes & Noble, you know? And that's because it's not Barnes & Noble. Incidentally, there is another Greek Gods and Heroes book. It's the Bullfinch's Mythology, which has been available from Barnes & Noble. And the fact that it has been available from Barnes & Noble means that lots of people have bought the Canterbury Classics edition, and which also is being sold as a Barnes & Noble leather-bound collector's edition. It's not. It's Canterbury Classics, and people who are buying it are being very disappointed in the quality of what's inside, in the same way as this one. The Barnes & Noble Bullfinch's Mythology is out of print and has been out of print for a very long time. You can tell that it's that the Canterbury Classics one is not Barnes & Noble because on the back it just doesn't look at all like a Barnes & Noble. You've got a rectangle up at the top, and then it's just very sober. It's this at least it looks a little bit like a Barnes & Noble leather-bound edition. So let's get a closer look at what you do actually get here, because you might actually decide that you want to get this just for your shelf anyway, or just because the contents interest you. Personally, I'm very interested in the contents. If a Bullfinch's had been available as a Barnes & Noble leather-bound edition, I'd have gone with that. I thought I was getting a Barnes & Noble leather-bound edition here. Nevertheless, it's quite a nice cover. The leather itself feels a little bit plasticky, but it's not a big step down from the usual Barnes and Noble fare. It's okay. It's all right. It's maybe a little bit busy with the three parts there, but it's okay. It's not a problem. On the shelf, it certainly doesn't look bad. This is what you get on the spine. Gods and heroes of ancient Greece. The owl of Athena, presumably. And this is what you get on the back. It is actually gold and black paint on the quite dark burgundy red. There we are. Let me just pop that down on the table over here. Show you what you get inside. As presumably Perseus. Presumably, I have no idea. Maybe it is Perseus holding up the Gorgon's head. Yes, they do seem to be snakes. So yes, it probably is Perseus. Translated from the German text, and it's Greek sources. Apparently, this is the number one source for German people of their knowledge of Greek mythology. I don't know if that's true. It's just something that I read. These are the myths that you get inside. The illustrations are nice. They're emulations of antique art. The publishers wish to express a special gratitude to Mr. James Walsh for the Institute of Classical Studies, Harvard University, for his valuable help and advice with this book in general for establishing the index, and to Dr. Hans Nahod for his assistance in assembling the illustrative material. So, hey, maybe it's not emulation, maybe it is actually original antique art. What else do we get? So the story of Jason, the story of Hercules or Heracles, Theseus. So presumably you're going to get the Minotaur story, Oedipus. Yes, maybe I should have just gone with the Iliad and the Odyssey, which is available as a Barnes and Noble hardback. It's a very beautiful edition, actually. But then the Iliad and the Odyssey is just two stories. I was hoping to get a little bit more out of this, which of course I am. Yes, the paper feels quite rough and not exactly low quality, but it's certainly not high quality. Okay. Yes, the paper is quite thin. You can see through to the other side there. The font is okay. It's readable. It's a little bit uneven. Oh, you can tell I'm I'm not happy. There we are. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a good excuse for me to buy one more Barnes and Noble book to replace this. Okay. So yes, so quite a lot of illustrations. You can see that the binding there is on this stripy cloth. That's not something that you see in the Barnes & Noble's editions. It's not ugly, it's just different. And the bookmark is like a rust colour. Copper. Right, and in the back seems to be an index, possibly of names and places. I think that's it. Yes, that's it. So there we are, a fake Barnes & Noble special collector's edition of Gods and Heroes, advertised by Barnes & Nobles themselves as a Barnes & Noble special leather-bound edition. Yeah, it may or may not stay on my shelf. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, do subscribe and like the video. I'll be reviewing the classic horror stories very shortly. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.